I am very disappointed. I am very consistent with what I am loyal to and what I believe. And I voted for Trump. I don't care if you don't like it or not. I'm just telling you what I did. I voted for Trump because I believed in what he represented. They were talking about full transparency. They were talking about ending, no more new wars, not supporting wars we weren't supposed to be a part of. They were talking about protecting our borders. There were all of these promises made, and now all of a sudden they're in office, and it just kind of feels like they're backtracking on a lot of promises that were made. Number one, first and foremost, the thing that actually matters most to me right now is the Epstein files. And I am so disappointed that they, like a lot of Democrats, are playing us for stupid. They really believe that they're just going to be able to tell us that the Epstein client list magically doesn't exist anymore, that there will be no other charges filed. No other charges filed against anyone else to defend or take care of the victims that were involved in the Epstein files. Basically, nothing else will be done. Epstein killed himself. There are nothing, absolutely nothing. And the thing is, if you have done any kind of homework regarding the Epstein list and the Epstein files, you know with absolute certainty that that is not true. There's something there. We don't know what's there, but we know something is there. You have all of this footage of what they call child porn. We'll just say it. And hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying it out loud. But you got all of it, but you don't want to release to the public. But the thing is who's on those files? Who's in those videos? I understand you want to protect the victims, but you mean to tell me that Jeffrey Epstein was the only person involved? You mean to tell me that what's her name, the lady who's in prison right now, you're trying to tell me that she's in prison for sex trafficking to absolutely nobody? Like, we know that this is not true. They tried to give us the video footage of Epstein in prison before he died and tried to say that this will conclusively show that nobody entered in or out of his jail cell during the time that he had committed suicide. But there's a whole minute and something missing from that video footage. And when the video footage comes back into play, when it skips that minute, the camera angle actually is changed by just a little bit. So what happened during that 1 minute of missing footage? Andrew Kern, what's going on? There are so many lies being told, and I'm not afraid to say the quiet part out loud. I know I've supported Trump. I don't regret supporting Trump and voting for Trump, because to me, he was the lesser of two evils. I never called myself a MAGA supporter. I am conservative. My values and opinions do align with what's going on with the Republican Party right now, but I am not a, what do you call it? I don't follow the person. I follow what I feel is best for what serves the best interest of this company. Right now, that's Trump compared to what we've had, but we only had two choices. That doesn't mean that I'm going to sit up here and agree with everything this man does just because he's making better decisions for this country than the Democratic Party. I don't like what's being done with these Epstein files right now. And it is that we all have a hill that we have to die on. And for me, protecting children is mine. I said it when we were talking about mutilating children and in support of trans issues and everything else. Leave the kids alone. I don't care what you do with your own body parts and everything else, but leave the kids alone. They're not in a position. Their brains aren't developed enough for them to make decisions like that when they can't turn around and change their minds later on. Leave them alone. I have always said that. I've never had a different opinion when it comes to protecting the kids. Just never. And it doesn't stop just because the man I voted for is now doing things like protecting pedophiles just because they make a lot of money. And they want to sit up there and try to what's the word I'm looking for, man? They're trying to appease us by making all of these other arrests with sex trafficking and other violations, other violators, the deportations to basically say, well, we are not going to do anything about this, but we're willing to go ahead and give you this. Now, hopefully that'll satisfy you just a little bit. And it doesn't, because what you're saying is that if you have enough money, you are actually above the law. I voted for Trump because I truly believed that they were going to get in there, especially with everything the Democrats did to try to put him in prison and everything else. I really felt like Trump was going to get in there and just basically take that entire deep state, flip it on its head, get rid of him, whatever he had to do, so that we could start to have the type of government we need moving forward. And now I'm not so sure about that. I'm not. I'll be the first to say, like, no, I don't regret voting for him. I think that there's a lot of positive things going on, but there's nothing you can do to change my mind about the fact that our children need to be protected, ever. Like, I don't care how good you are for this country. If I find out that you are a pedophile or that you are protecting pedophiles for any reason, you have to go. There's got to be somebody else that can do the job you're doing without feeling like it's okay to do that to little kids, to protect the people, the predators over the kids, ever. I will never, like I said, I will never stand by and allow and vote in a direction of someone who feels it's okay. And this dude, man, the final straw for me, bro, was when this dude made a comment. And I'm gonna tell you where this took me on this. I'm gonna show you the video footage first.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Dick move.
It's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have
dick move.
We have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Yes, we still want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein because you're not giving us any answers. Why are you hiding behind all this? And as much as I hate to bring some things to people's attention because I voted in this direction, I voted for this, I'm going to continue to speak my mind. And one thing I will promise you guys, that if the time ever came, and I doubt it will because I am a nobody, but if the time ever came to where they said, hey, we're going to pay you to speak on something you don't believe in, I will get out the game. I will take my money and run. I would rather just remove myself from the equation than to sit up here and lie to people about certain things. So if I'm no longer on social media, if I'm no longer sharing my opinions about what's real and what's not, it's probably because I've been approached and I value my life with myself and my life with my kids more than anything else. That's how it should be for most people. I would never want nobody to put their life on the line just for an opinion. There are things you put your life on the line for. Your opinion is not necessarily one of them. You can have a whole lot of opinions. Just, you might have to remove yourself from a few. You don't have to lie about it. Just remove yourself. But anyways, this thing has caused me to line up a few other things that I just didn't want to believe. The question now is Trump actually on that list? I know, far-fetched. You don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. But here's a few things that don't line up for me. Number one, why, after everything the Democrats have done to you, knowing that this client list exists, would you then turn around just to protect them unless you're protecting yourself? Or, and I'll give them a little bit of credit, maybe you're protecting the fact that there's people on both sides on this list and you're literally afraid of what it's going to do to the entire country. It doesn't condone what you've done. I'm just trying to explain why, as a whole, Trump might be on this list. There is evidence to show that at some point, Jeffrey Epstein did call Trump his best friend. Coincidence? Possibly. But then you look at, when did Jeffrey Epstein off himself, unalive himself? I thought, I was led to believe, just because I never really looked into it, that it happened when Joe Biden was in office. It didn't. Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself, quote unquote, while Trump was in office. And then to turn around with all of the shit that Trump talks right now, to sit up here and tell us, because we're asking questions that you don't want to involve yourself with, you literally have the balls to ask us, why are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Let me ask you, why are we still talking about rigged elections? That happened a lot farther down the road than Jeffrey Epstein. But you want to talk about rigged elections because it applies to you. But when we want real answers about what's happening to these kids, these victims, all of a sudden it's not worth talking about. So you're okay with protecting pedophiles as long as those pedophiles have enough money to invest in what's going on in this country. I don't have all the answers, but that shit doesn't make sense. And then I'm going to get to my final point with this. Elon Musk is a lot of things. But one thing nobody has been able to show me that I've seen anywhere is that Elon Musk is a liar. Yes, he has some mild or extreme form of autism. It's part of what makes him a genius. But can anybody show me where people are literally, they may not like his politics. They may not like the fact that some people don't like him because they feel like he's abandoned his child who became a transgender. They don't like him for a lot of different reasons. But being a liar is not one of them, not from either side. So yes, he got into a pissing contest with Trump because he doesn't like this big, beautiful bill. But when they pissed each other off, Elon came out and said that for whatever reason, Trump is on that client list. Why would he say that if it wasn't true? Yes, he's mad at him. But take Elon Musk in as a whole. How many times has anybody ever accused this man of lying? He throws temper tantrums. He can act like a child sometimes. But it sounds to me like he might just be playing games and pissing on people with the truth. Possibly. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to act like I do. I'm just saying with everything that's been going on, the way that they're treating this, the fact that this stuff just does not make sense, there is some validity to the accusation, at the very least, that Trump might just be on the client list. And if he's not on the client list, then he's protecting something that he's protecting something that he should not be protecting. If the government needs to end in order for us to get a fresh start, to end the deep state and this uniparty and whatever else is going on behind closed doors, that's what we voted for you to do. End all of it. Start over. Put people in place who actually want to help the people out. And to be perfectly honest, at this point, I truly believe that Elon Musk with this American Party or America Party is something that we should really be taking a look at. I understand. A lot of people will say, well, if people start following Elon Musk and they decide to invest in this America Party, that all it's really going to serve to do is to remove to take away votes from the Republican Party and possibly put the Democrats back into power. Well, that's not the people who the people who decided to join the America Party. That's not their fault. It's the fault of the Republicans and the Trump administration that thought they could do whatever they want and there would be no repercussions. Don't lie to the people. When we know there's something going on, you're literally going to look at us in the face and say, no, it's not. Don't believe your ears and your eyes. That's what the Democrats did, and that's why we voted against them. Period. And I've always said people should start paying more attention. Do listen to your eyes. Do listen to your ears. If something doesn't make sense, before you decide to vote on it, before you decide to hate a person because of the information you received, go and do your homework. Find out just how true it is. Listen to both sides. Don't do with one. Each side only wants you to listen to them. Listen to both sides. Form your own opinions. Then that's when when we start doing that, The people can actually come together and start making better decisions to help govern this country and stop listening to the politicians act like they know what's best for us, even if we don't. What part of that, if you guys have listened to me in the past, I may not have been, I may not have had as much clarity in the things I talk about as I do now, hopefully, but my opinions about certain things have not changed. I'm all about protecting the kids. I've always been that way. I've always been about right versus wrong as opposed to right versus left. I've always been that way. I voted right because I felt they were more on the right side than the Democrats. So it's not that my opinions sway back and forth with the wind. It's just that I can admit when a mistake has been made, and I'm also willing to work towards correcting that mistake. I don't know if Trump and them, if the decisions that they make is, I do believe that there's a lot of good that's going to come out of the decisions they have made for this country. But at the end of the day, like I said, we all have a hill to die on. Protecting kids is my hill. And I'm not going to sit up here and vote for anybody that feels that it's okay to protect pedophiles, no matter how rich or poor they are. And again, another example I can give why this matters. Look at all of the people who aren't rich that they are arresting right now for sex trafficking and all of these other things. They're trying to appease us with these so-called wins and not give us the win that we really want. The deep state government has to go. The uniparty in them has to go. I do believe that a lot of the same people connected with Epstein is connected with the Diddy situation, and that's the reason why he got off the way that he got off. Man, we could talk about this stuff all day, but that's part of the point I wanted to make. I really believe if Elon Musk continues to make sense the way that he's making, and he decides to form the America Party, I like the idea because I have always questioned, why do we even have Democrats versus Republicans? If it's about the people, we should just be Americans and make better decisions for America. That to me makes sense. Maybe it doesn't to you, but it makes sense to me. If we just had one party, for instance, it would be much easier to vote for who is making the best decisions for this country, as opposed to let's just vote for one side or the other. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.